What did Will Smith's slap leave on Chris Rock's face?
I don't know.
Fresh Prince.
Oh my God. You like that one?
That's probably the best one they've got out of that bullshit. The Oscars.
All right. So quick touch on
the
the
show
Will
over.
and Chris controversy. Where if you don't want to listen to this, I understand. Go ahead. Skip ahead.
Skip ahead, yeah.
So initial reaction to it. Give me your quick hot take. Yes, no.
Sometimes you gotta slap a motherfucker, man.
All right. Do you think it was an overreaction or an underreaction?
Absolutely.
Absolute overreaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you believe that it was genuine, or do you think that it was? There's a lot of conspiracy theories around the fact that it might not be genuine.
I definitely think it was genuine, and I can't tell another man how to feel
Sure.
in the moment of anger. Could it have been handled differently? Absolutely.
Okay.
But that's not for me to decide.
How do you feel about the Academy not making him leave?
I don't have any thought about them.
So they said that the Academy
Asked
came
them
out
to
and said
leave, yeah.
that we asked them to leave.
he said no.
Today there are reports that are counter to that basically
Yeah.
say from like Will Smith's people and those around him that the Academy actually asked him to stay.
Wow.
After it happened.
I think this whole thing is a shit show. I don't promote violence. I don't think this show promotes violence. I don't think anyone promotes violence. And, Will apologized. Chris apologized. I think it's an unfortunate situation. There's definitely more politics about it that I don't want to go into, but did it overshadow his win? Yeah, for sure.
Well, it overshadowed probably
The entire show.
the entire show, if not
Yeah.
the last several years of Oscars, really. If
Yeah.
you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty remarkable
Yeah, there's
moment.
There's a lot. There's a lot to be said about it. I feel like we have to touch on it because of who we are and
Sure.
what we talk about here, and that kind of revolves around.
Yeah, and our opinions don't really matter all that much.
not at
but
all.
what would you? They're saying that it's going to take a few weeks for them to kind of review it. The Academy said that they're going to take a few weeks to kind of review it and set next steps. Do you think that there's any
Nothing's
response?
gonna happen.
Okay, I agree with that. Do you think there should be a different response?
They're gonna send a mean letter to Will.
Sure.
He's gonna publicly apologize, like not an Instagram letter. Like he's probably gonna go meet with all of them, buy them dinner. But Will Smith is, he's Will. He's been in the business for 30 years and everyone loves him. And this is not like, it's not like the baby, like, bashing, like, the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be fine, and Chris will be fine. Like, they are, and as they said, still friends.
Sure.
This was a moment of anger and frustration and disgust that was piled on top of everything else that was going on with him and his wife. And again, man, like, this could have been anybody. Everyone has been somewhere where something has happened where you've had to defend your wife. Even if you're in a restaurant, somebody bumps the chair, you gotta, hey, you know what I'm saying? So, but again, I can't tell another man how to defend his family.
Sure.
And I'm not defending Will, but I am also give Chris his props for taking it on the chin like a champ.
Yeah.
He
really
kept
did
the show going.
He handled himself, I thought, pretty well.
He
kept the show going.
Kept it going.
Indeed.
So, man, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I felt like we definitely had to just touch on it before we jumped into the show. The show that was overshadowed by all that.
Oh, yes, for sure. All right. So do you feel like you've gotten everything out of the way?
How do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
You know, originally when it first happened and you sent it to me, I thought it was staged.
I did too.
Yeah, that's really what I thought. And then I saw the reaction videos of essentially Will's response when he sat back down, and I was like, "Oh wow! Like that clearly seems like it is not staged. It seems like this is very genuine, but such a shocking altercation, right? It's just such a unusual thing to see. So I was very surprised by all that, and then I spent a couple of days kind of taking in all of the obviously news that followed.
So heavy,
and so many conspiracy theories and people out there, you know, audio, video, like not syncing up and all this kind of crazy stuff. The Pfizer scandal, like it just really,
man, it just went.
And I'll be honest, I love conspiracy theories, dude.
I'm
so into them.
What am I? What did I tell you I was? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy entertainer.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell me a little bit.
I love a good conspiracy theory. So I'm not saying that I believe them, but I love it when people like go on deep dives on like, well, this and this and this, they all like tie up and all these people are in the same place and these things link. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Because
like,
Will was about to buy NBC, which is wild.
Could be. I don't know. I've not heard that.
I just made that up. I just made that up. No.
So yeah, I went down those rabbit holes. I enjoyed that. Obviously, a very unfortunate situation. It seems like, all conspiracy theories aside, it seems like it was probably pretty unexpected, I would imagine. I don't really see the upside for Will. It's hard to see what, like a conspiracy theory, it's hard to see what the upside would be for Will. Like, how do you get him to buy into it? I've not seen like great answers to that question. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Academy can really do much. In hindsight, maybe they should have had him leave, but I don't know if they can. I mean, they probably figured, well, he's about to win, Best Actor in a few minutes. Like, we can't kick him out. Like, we want to give him that. Whether or not they should or shouldn't have, I don't know. I mean, you can't strip him of the Oscar, I don't think. If you're going to take the Oscar from him, then there's a whole list of people that you have to take the Oscars from that have done way worse things. Yeah. So that seems like an overreach. But yeah, interesting. I don't know. I certainly tuned in. I mean, it works. It works to that effect. I was not watching the Oscars. I've not watched it in several years, to be honest.
This was actually, I was at my folks' crib celebrating my uncle's 59th birthday. Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Uncle Jeff. And we were downstairs like playing pool, just him and I, and he just put the Oscars on. And I was like, I forgot it was tonight. And we were just sitting down there, we're just watching it, playing pool, and then that shit happened. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But on a higher note, Encanto
did win.
Won Best Animated Film. So
yeah, congrats. I wasn't super shocked by that, to be honest.
I wasn't.
It wasn't really up against anything else that I thought was.
I do have the
even really in kind of the same.
The other nominees here, if you want, because I don't.
Arena. What was it up against Luca and
and they're like the same company. That's Disney.
I mean, I feel like it'll always be Disney versus Pixar. Obviously, they're all owned by the same thing.
Here we go.
It'll always be those two titans kind of fighting back and forth. You might get stop motion. Does that count? Does that go into the animation category? Like when
it would have to. I would think so.
Like Coraline and stuff. Is that considered?
Yeah. So, animated feature film category was Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus The Machine.
Which was very good. I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
So that's on Netflix. It's very good. It has a couple of the voice actors are very well known. It was a while ago, though. This was definitely the beginning of the year when that all came out. It's been quite a bit since I watched it, but it was very good. It's not on par with Pixar and Disney.
Okay.
But it's good. For Netflix, it's a huge win for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the last one was Raya and the Last Dragon. So Disney...
Which is also Disney.
Had 3 out of the 5 nominations. So
Yeah.
they were. I know there's different teams and animators and directors and musicians who do the scores for each movie. Different directorial teams for each film, but Disney's name is on all three, so they were going to go home.
Yeah, with something regardless. Yeah,
so,
for sure. So yeah, I didn't think that was a huge surprise. CODA winning Best Picture. I've not actually seen CODA yet.
Me either.
I don't know if I'm super surprised by it though. I know the concept of it. It seems like it would definitely be kind of that in the Best Picture contention for sure.
None of these movies.
It must really be pretty solid though. There were other movies in that category that I thought were like pretty stellar. So CODA must really be in there.
Because it was up against Belfast, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car.
Don't Look Up had no business being in the Oscars in any way, shape, or form.
Dune, which, okay.
I would have given, and I'm just biased, but I would have given Dune every award you could give it.
Yeah.
I would have given it Best Picture. I would have given it Best Director. I don't think that there's anything that came out this past year that really touches Dune from a like craftsman perspective. Like it was crafted by like the best in the business on every level, I think, in my opinion. But sci-fi never wins Best Picture, so not hugely surprised by that.
King Richard, Licorice Pizza, don't know what that is.
Yep.
Nightmare Alley, you told me to watch it. I'm sorry, I haven't watched it yet. Power of the Dog and West Side Story, which I will never watch.
Yeah, so Nightmare Alley shares similarities with Dune in the fact that I think the people that worked on it and make those movies, like Guillermo del Toro, is a perfectionist, and there are so many aspects of his movies that are just incredible.
He did the water movie.
Yes,
with the fish man.
Yeah.
God, fish people.
Fish people.
Always.
Man. I know.
Rack up.
That's right. He does an incredible job. The story, I don't think, was as strong as it was with Dune. Like Dune had the edge on it, but Nightmare Alley is exceptionally well done. But people are very divided over the story. It just wasn't, I think, what everybody had hoped it would be. But anyway, kind of an interesting list, I thought, of Best Picture nominations. It seemed like a lot of just, we got to put them in here. Just to put them in here, we have to have something. But I don't really feel like there was any like huge outliers.
Yeah, I'm looking through the winners and the categories, and it's pretty much the same nominations like over and over, besides documentary.
Yeah, and Dune won its fair share of awards.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely cleaned up. It was the big winner of the night.
I think the only outlier here was No Time to Die won for Best Original Song.
That's not super surprising, though. I don't think. James Bond, I feel like they have they tend to win when there is a James Bond movie that has a good song associated to it. I feel like it tends to win. There's a cool factor there that really counts quite a bit, in my opinion. Like, it kind of bests Disney songs, and it breaks out of the film world and it becomes something that is on the charts, people listen to outside of the movie. So it's unique in that sense. The Adele song, I think, was in that space too. Okay. I believe that also won, if I recall correctly. So that wasn't, I thought, super surprising. I also didn't think that the music in Encanto was all that great. What? The lyrics. I'm sorry. I thought the song. It wasn't. I thought the music was great. The music was good. I enjoyed that. A lot of the lyrics and like the songwriting, I thought was
superficial.
Yeah. There were just moments where it felt kind of cringy to me. Like I just felt like, that could have been written better, maybe. Not that I'm,
Pressure like a trip. I love that song.
There's good songs in it. Don't get me wrong. It's Disney. They're not going to put out bad songs. I mean, that's not how it works.
Of course, Will won Best Actor for King Richard, and then when you get to the costume and production and cinematography side, Dune just cleans up, man.
Yeah, Cruella, I think, got Best Costume, if I'm right.
Yep.
And I think that was deserving, kind of. It definitely had the most creative and the most, like, fun costume elements, in my opinion. I thought that Dune was, again, like, it's beautiful and the costumes are incredible and they're amazing. But the design work on the costumes in Cruella is very like.
Well, it's a movie
very
about.
Special. It's very special.
Excuse me.
It's all right, dude.
Oh damn! I don't know what the hell that was.
It's called COVID.
You said COVID?
It's called COVID. Yeah.
It was surprising because Cruella was a movie about designing. So the elements inside the movie had to be very extravagant.
Yeah.
So I see why it won there, and
they did an excellent job.
Yeah, they did, man. I liked Cruella.
Really looks great.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much the Oscars. There was Oscars gave some nice kind of fan moments. They did some Twitter polls, and this is very disappointing. Had two fan favorite moments: best cheer-worthy moment and fan favorite moment. And I didn't add the link here, but best cheer-worthy moment was the Flash running into the Speed Force in Zack Snyder's Justice League, which
Weird.
was up against like No Way Home, like
that
the Three
seems
Spiders.
so strange to me.
Yeah, like this was a fan voting thing, so that was just very. I appreciate the nod to that genre. You know, like comic book movies are undoubtedly blockbusters.
Sure.
They're making $500 million in their span on the shelf life of cinema.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when it comes to the Oscars, it's kind of more of a they don't consider that still. Like they don't consider that cinema. Much to how hip hop and rap wasn't considered like a prestige, like it wasn't considered on the higher shelf with the Grammys until later on down the road, right? And you know, it just felt like it was a cool moment for them to finally give comic book movies some just due, even if it was a kind of weird
nod to
it. Weird nod. I don't agree that. I think that was a great moment for comic book movies, but I don't think that was probably the best.
What do you think brings people back to the Oscars? I feel like it's
seeing celebs.
I feel like it's kind of. But do you care about that still? Do you care about seeing like famous people still, especially in that context?
No. 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 My initial reaction is no, and then thinking about it, no.
Yeah.
Also, especially in the internet era, right? Like we've been, for my mom, for my aunts, my grandmother, who don't live with these, right? They don't live with it,
sure,
right? For them, it's still just a phone. Mm-hmm. They just put it in their back pocket of their Levi's and they go on. Where for us, it's a tool, and in some cases an appendage, and all of our information comes from that. So we see celeb news all the time. Mm-hmm. For them, they don't even know. I don't even think my mother knows that you can follow news outlets on Instagram. Like Yeah. So like for us, we're getting alerts all day about Jay-Z did this, Oprah's wearing this, Brad Pitt is skydiving today. Like we're getting all kinds of crap. So to see them again on TV is just kind of like blah. And like we are millennials, Gen Z, like we don't really watch TV. Like I didn't even know the Oscars was on. Where like my father-in-law, my mother-in-law had it like DVR. They were ready. Like, this is what we're doing Sunday night. So I think it's a generational thing. I think I don't think I care.
Gotcha.
Do you care?
I used to watch the Oscars pretty religiously. I would do like Oscar watch parties, and we'd do like the sheets, and we'd fill out all of our guesses. that used to be a thing that I was really, really into. And I have lost some, the Oscars have lost some appeal over the last several years. They just have kind of not felt as special. I think this year they tried to make it quicker, much shorter, which isn't a bad idea. I think that you can certainly do that. I think cutting back on the awards that you dole out, at least on live TV, maybe webcast some of it or stream some of it, but then pick up, the last 10 awards on, on a network or something. But I think something that would be really impactful from a numbers perspective would be if you were to do more like releases or promotional content in the Oscars. Like, why not have James Cameron come out and give the trailer to Avatar 2? Why not?
There you go.
Why not have Marvel come out and do the trailer for Thor 4?
Yeah.
And
give us a reason outside of
the cast come on stage and give the award out for
take the Comic-Con element
correct.
Of it, and then that would
or have like Billie Eilish play the song, do a have her come out and play it, do something that is captivating and intriguing and that would bring people
right.
Because I don't personally I'm not that concerned about who wins various categories. I'll read the list tomorrow or after the day after, right? But if you give me something that's worth watching, like an event kind of thing,
I know I will get the Thor 4 trailer at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you could even hype it up. You could make it more of a spectacle in the sense that listen, so-and-so is going to be there from Marvel is going to have these guys here. They're going to give away the Oscar for, best special effects. They're going to show some footage from Thor 4. They're going to,
Disney
whatever.
can do that.
Yeah.
They can throw enough money at it.
Oh, sure.
To do that.
So many people could have Tom Cruise come out in a
Top Gun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do the trailer. Yeah, man. That's such a genius idea.
There's pieces like that I think that they could, they could lean into. They could really take better advantage of it.
And my last thing about the Oscars is they don't show movies. All of the movies up for awards, I've only seen or even know about half of them.
Yeah.
The others, in most cases, aren't even out for viewing yet.
Yeah,
the Academy has them, so they can watch it and nominate and whatever. But for us,
I think I could be wrong about this, but I think by the time the Oscars are out, I think most of the movies that are on the
ballot,
they're on the ballot have been released for review. I think most of them. I used to, again, when I was really into the Oscar thing, I used to take the nominee lists when they came out, and I would make sure that I saw all the movies that were nominated. Right. I used to make it a thing. I would go through and watch even the foreign films and the shorts, and I would try to find a way to watch all that stuff before the night of, so that I could feel like I was hip to it. I knew what was going on. Not the case this year, but it is what it is. Apple won. That CODA was theirs, I guess. They bought it, so it's not like they made it per se, but big deal for them, I guess. It's the first streamer to win Best Picture, although there were a few others that were up. Power of the Dog was Netflix, right? That was up for a nomination for Best Picture. So that's kind of a cool thing, I suppose, but not super surprising.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. But probably enough on the Oscars. You said you watched the Joker clip. You got up to speed on that.
I did, man. I did.
We spent a lot of time on that a week ago. So
yeah, it's a good. If you're tuning in to see if I watched it, I did. Very Silence of the Lambs-esque, and I picked up something that a lot of people didn't.
Do tell. That's what we're here for.
So, we'll give a quick little recap real quick. Matt Reeves released the deleted scene of the Joker trailer, if you didn't watch the show last week, where the Batman goes and seeks counsel from the Joker and asks him about the Riddler. And it's great, for what it is. The Joker looks...
Yeah, do you like the Joker, yes or no?
We gotta see. I don't know in what dynamic he's gonna act as yet.
Sure.
So I can't base my.
But do you like the very dark, scary, macabre style? He's obviously like disfigured.
Yeah, I like that. We haven't gotten that type of Joker yet.
Yeah, like you could have said that, Heath Ledger's Joker was a dark interpretation of the Joker, but I would say that this pushes the envelope even further into that category, whereas obviously other iterations of the Joker have been more lighthearted, if you will, or more animated.
Cinematically, we've gotten, five Jokers? Mm-hmm. So Nicholson, Heath, Leto, got something about Jared Leto later, Joaquin, and now...
I'll never remember his name.
He was the telepath in Eternals, and I keep forgetting his name. But I think moving away from kind of the mobster, gangster that Jack Nicholson and Heath was, mm-hmm. and also Jared Leto, to more of the crazy psychopathic serial killer adaptation is going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. Okay. I think aesthetically he kind of fits more of the psycho killer, serial killer.
Certainly
dynamic.
100%.
And that'll be fun. It will be fun if they lean into a Batman versus Joker. It will be fun to see how chaotic this type of serial killer Joker will be. Yeah.
So what was the piece that you caught on to?
So he puts the folder in the slot, and they're talking, they're going back and forth, and it has a paper clip on it. Mm-hmm. And when he gives him the folder back,
it doesn't have
a paper clip. So what's he going to do with that? If that's even a thing, if that's, they may have just missed it, or because he looked at the file, it may not be on there. But
very convenient if they missed it. It really would have set them up well.
But
somebody in the continuity department is like, yes,
like
it worked out. Yes,
we did it. But that's also very Joker-esque to slip a paper clip.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. That was my biggest takeaway.
I love that. So you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
you're good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah,
right.
I'm not like losing sleep over it.
I love that. You could do a little bit of a Marvel roundup. There was a lot of things that happened this week, I think, in the Marvel universe. You sent me a whole list of things.
I'll do 2 MCU. We can talk about okay. All right. So Nova is apparently in production at Disney. To go to Disney Plus.
Give me a 1-sentence bio on Nova.
Nova is a cosmic superhero. If you remember Guardians of the Galaxy 1, there was the Nova Corps. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like a space police that existed on Xandar.
Yep.
In comic book lore, Nova is the last of the Nova Corps. And they all kind of they all use these helmets. It's kind of like I'd say akin to the Green Lantern rings that kind of gives them the Nova Force.
Okay.
And then when the Nova Corps is eliminated, all of the powers kind of go to his helmet and he becomes Nova. Right? Good. And there's 2 iterations of Nova in the books. That there is the Richard Rider, which is the more hardcore established version of Nova. Mm-hmm. And then there's the younger, his son, who takes up the mantle. The helmet literally goes to him and finds him, and then he becomes the second iteration of Nova. And he he's on a team called the Champions or the New Warriors, one of the two. I can't remember.
And this is going to be a TV show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think they're going to lean into that father-son dynamic.
Okay.
And
great. So that just is kicking off, you're saying? Production on that
they're
dialing up.
From what I'm hearing, they're in production to that. And then apparently Wakanda Forever, finally.
Yeah, when you originally sent that to me, you misspelled forever. And it was Forcer or something. And then I was like, damn, I'm a real idiot. So I'm Googling Wakanda
sorry,
Forcer.
man. My bad.
And I was like trying to find this because I was
So
like,
sorry.
I want to be somewhat on the in here. So
Yeah, my bad.
yeah. And let me tell you, there's nothing that comes
Yeah.
up. So don't deep dive that one.
Okay. So the actual title, running title, is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
Which is, there's so much surrounding this film.
Of course.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He was our Black Panther, and he's no longer here. And they decided to continue with whatever story arc they are going to go with. They've kept it extremely under wraps. But this movie has just had multiple
hang-ups
along the way.
Injuries and things like that, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman dies, and then COVID, and then Letitia Wright went on like a whole conspiracy. She plays Shuri, Black Panther's sister, and then she went on like a whole internet thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was a thing, and they were like, Disney was like, shut up. And then
reel it back in.
And then like the thing with most recently with Ryan Coogler, I don't know if he got like arrested at a bank because
A lot of arrests going on lately.
They didn't. It was, I'm not going to go into detail, but he got arrested at the bank because, he was trying to be conspicuous about withdrawing money, and so he wrote a note. And this is who I am. This is my ID and my bank account information. Blah blah blah. I'm not trying to be literally. And they called the police. So I'm just like, yo, is this movie cursed? Like, it's just one thing after another involving everyone around this movie.
It's a bummer.
And it's finally wrapped. Oh yeah, and then Letitia Wright got hurt.
Yep.
On set. So, but. What's her name? Angela Bassett came out recently and said it is better than Black Panther 1, which I'm like, I don't know how you're going to top that.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a pretty solid team over there.
I trust Disney.
Yeah, they do. They do a good job.
I trust Kevin Feige, who's head of Marvel, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you're going to. I don't know. I just gotta see it. I just can't see it.
Something tells me you will. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's gonna be all right.
And let's get on to the shit show that's Morbius.
I don't know if there's really much to say about it, other than obviously it's failing miserably. It has a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's doing so bad.
Let me read
It's doing so bad. But again, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
It was predicted. Everyone kind of suspected that it was going to just be a complete disaster.
I'm going to read the first.
Which it was.
From The Atlantic. Morbius, starring Jared Leto, my guy, is a half-hearted effort to create a character on a knife edge between valor and villainy. But instead it just ends up portraying a very annoying weirdo.
Yeah. That seems about right.
I'm so... Sony is such a shit show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for what they're trying to do. They're trying to ride the coattails of Disney, and I can't say that I wouldn't do the same thing. I would probably go about it a different way. Like, I feel as if, I don't know what the deals are that they have with Disney and whatnot, but it seems like if they still own some of the Spider-Man rights, like, can they make another Spider-Man movie? If they can, I would get back into the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I would go back into that. I would get the Sinister Six involved. I would carry that plan forward. And
stop this villain verse crap, man.
I don't get the villain verse thing. I'm not sure why they're leaning into that.
It's not good.
Yeah, I don't. That path I don't agree with. I really, really would stick with the Amazing Spider-Man if you could. I don't know if they can. Maybe there's an agreement like they can't do anything with Spider-Man. They can't.
I think they.
Who knows?
There was I think it was someone at Sony said you will find out who our Spider-Man is soon. Like,
yeah.
Okay, like.
Call up Andrew Garfield.
Just you don't need to keep us on the edge of our seats. Please trust me.
Yeah, they can. If they don't figure out a way to bring Andrew Garfield back and to finish their original plans, it's a huge misstep, I think. Whether you like Andrew Garfield or not as Spider-Man, doesn't really matter. You need to ride
the coattails
of what they set up in No Way Home.
Yeah.
The fan service you would steal. Everybody that went and saw No Way Home, every person would go see Amazing Spider-Man 3.
And you got your MCU Spider-Man, and then you got your Sony Spider-Man. Yeah. Is it convoluted? Kinda, but people are gonna pay to see it.
People would instantly care.
Yeah.
If you go find somebody else and try to reboot the Spider-Man thing, I'm out. I'm not in. I mean,
I'm not in now.
There's no way it's going to be incredible. Like, it's not going to be as good as the Disney thing. So go back to what you were doing before and just ride that wave. Like, you might as well. I think Andrew Garfield I think he was a great Spider-Man. I've spoken about that many times. And I think the team they had doing those movies did a pretty good job.
It was pretty
for
good.
the most part. Like, it really wasn't bad.
Not terrible.
No. If you go back and watch them, they hold up more than they don't, in my opinion. Now, again, they're not Marvel. Like, it's not as tight as that. Like, it has its issues. Yeah. But they had much higher ratings in Rotten Tomatoes than any of the Morbiuses or, Venoms or any of those things. Like, they definitely were ranking higher than that. So go back to what you were doing.
I'm gonna read you one more. Just watch Morbius. And gosh, the tears in my eyes. The plot, the themes, the characters, the dynamics, the drama, the lore, the emotional moments. Everything was garbage from beginning to end. On my way to the hospital, definitely the worst movie I've ever seen. God. That's brutal. I've never heard these type of
It's pretty hard
comments.
to get 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, you really have to make tons of missteps, I think. But that's enough on Morbius.
Yeah, we can move on. Sorry, Jerry.
No, we knew that was going to happen. I'm not really surprised by that. Did you watch the first episode of Moon Knight? It came out last night.
You want to do that?
So here's the thing.
Did you do it?
So here's the thing. I did not watch the first episode of Moon Knight.
Okay.
So did you?
Yes.
Great. I can ask you. I can ask you some questions.
You like this? Huh?
It is good. I will ask you some questions.
Okay.
That are spoiler free.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't get ruined for me or for anybody else, and we'll pick up next week once I have watched it.
All right.
Can you give me, just because I don't know, this is a technical thing, runtime on the first episode? Is it like a half hour?
It's about
an hour? Half hour?
I think the entire runtime is about 46 minutes with like 15 minutes of credits almost.
Okay.
Not 15 minutes, but long. It's long. Like the credit roll is pretty long. So it's about 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay, so it's not incredibly long.
No.
That's all I need to know. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we establish, this might be spoiling it. Let me not ask that. Initial impressions, yes or no?
What, mine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you're in.
Oh, yeah.
All in.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Is it the first episode, would you say, is it slow? Is it fast, action-packed? Is it revealing? Or is this like are we setting the stage?
Excellent pacing.
Okay.
Very, it's like you're watching a puzzle and you're trying to put the pieces together I don't want to spoil it. You're trying to put the pieces together for Oscar Isaac, who's playing Moon Knight.
Yep.
Because everyone knows that Moon Knight is a superhero who suffers from dissociative personality disorder.
Yes. Yep.
And clearly he's experiencing this
thing
in the series. And in the first episode, it's all over the place and you're trying to help. You feel like you're trying to help him put the pieces together. It's done in an awesome way. Okay. I don't want to spoil it, but it's done in an awesome way.
Yeah. We won't spoil it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you like the pacing of it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're into it? Because my complaint with Marvel, with Disney Plus Marvel series so far is that it takes like 3 or 4 episodes for you to like really feel like you're in it.
Is...
And then it's like there's only an episode left. So do you feel like you're really getting into the meat of it like pretty quick, like out of the gate? Yeah. I know it's 6 episodes, I think, total. So it's kind
6 total.
That's short. I need Disney to step it up on that front. They have the money. Just get it done.
They do like 6 to 8.
Get it done.
And I think the difference with this one is they couldn't take the chance with not establishing excitement, right? We had to get you in immediately because he wasn't introduced. This is the first show they've done where the character is introduced on Disney Plus.
The show, yeah.
So it's not WandaVision where
we know these people.
Sure. We're invested. We can kind of sit with it and just kind of roll with it until it picks up, and then there's it gets climactic, and then it's over. Like this one, it was all right, guys. Let's strap in. Let's go, and they hit the ground running.
Okay, I love that. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being incredible, 1 being I wish I could have my time back.
8.8.
How do you feel about it in contrast to the other Disney Plus Marvel shows? Do you think that...
I think it is...
Like, where do you rank it?
It's not done, so I don't know how it ends, but it is the first best... It is the best... First show.
Best first
episode of all of them.
Great. So things look promising.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
You know, like WandaVision was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
WandaVision took a little bit of time to kind of get set up. I mean, again, this is my biggest complaint with all of them, is it took too much time to set them up.
They take too long to get set up. And then, you know, they play the game with you like, it might be an Easter egg and it might not. And it's like, yeah. No, with this, everything is right in front of you, right there. In the first episode.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to watch it tonight. I'll get caught up, and we can talk more about it in the future.
Copy.
Great. House of the Dragon? House of the Dragons? House of Dragons? What is that? What it's
Game
called?
of Thrones debuts August 21st.
The new Game of Thrones? Is that what it's called? House of Dragons?
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
Targaryen stuff.
Targaryen stuff. So that debuts in the end of August, which is kind of toe-to-toe with Amazon's Rings of Power.
That's right.
Because they both, I think they come out I think they kick off like a week apart. So we've got a little bit of a sci-fi fantasy battle.
August, end of summer.
Yeah. Battle of the Titans, HBO versus Amazon. Now, I have yet to be really impressed with anything that Amazon has done.
Go watch The Boys, man.
Is there The Boys? I know. So I've not watched The Boys yet, which I know is like everyone says is incredible. Well, I'll check it out. Do you feel like The Boys is like a cut above the rest, or do you feel like it's just good for Amazon?
It is,
because for a long time HBO kind of had this mystique about them, and they produced shows at a quality that a lot of other streamers were looking to emulate. And I would say even to this day, it's very hard for streamers to do. Netflix on its best day can kind of get there, but it's not common. Most shows that most streamers put out still fail to meet the production value and quality of HBO. So do you think that Amazon has something that's in that space where you watch it and you feel like, oh, this is complementary, or this is on the same level as?
Okay. That's layered.
I know, it's a loaded question. Intentionally.
And I'll say that I can
break it apart.
Yeah. HBO has been doing this since inception. Since they have.
Sure, they're kind of the original.
They are the original. They have something for everyone from fucking Sesame Street to Sex and the City. Like they got it. They got it locked. They know what they're doing. Even their worst show is still it still charts for some type of dynamic.
Yeah,
right?
It's better than a lot of the others.
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't until later years that they started kind of doing IP stuff, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of their stuff was like original from the cutting room floor. Yeah. We're going to get the best writers, and we're going to just shoot The Sopranos, The Wire, just whatever. And then, they got Warner Brothers and got the DC stuff, and then, whatever. Now, Netflix, when they're hot, they hot,
Yeah.
but they put out a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
So
No doubt.
But they also have something there for everyone, from like for my kids.
Yeah, and to Netflix's credit, they have been doing it a long time. They've been in the game longer than Amazon and longer than Hulu. So there's a couple of shows on Hulu that I've thought have been good, but there has yet to be anything on Amazon that has like really brought me in. And they've spent more money than God on this new Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
And the teaser came out. I wasn't impressed with the teaser. I think we talked about this a little bit. It felt way too polished and like way too sexy for Middle Earth. Like everybody looked like they were like 22.
What did you say?
And they were like,
you were like the last names. They were like, no, that was about The Witcher.
No, that was about The Witcher. Yeah, The Witcher uses language that I can't track with. I can't follow.
But I
need like a guidebook to know.
Amazon,
or I need to watch it with subtitles maybe, but then that makes me feel super old.
I love subtitles.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching. I'm gonna have to start watching The Witcher with subtitles because I have no idea half the time what they're saying. the family names or the houses are way too complicated, and I can't track with what's happening.
Please, you said one of the names on one of the shows.
Yeah, it was like shmishmah. Yeah, it was not. I couldn't track with it.
Yo. All right.
And I'm not the only one. My wife says the same thing. She's like, "What are they doing now? Where are they going? Who are these people?"
It made no sense to me. It's very, very dark on The Witcher. Like it's dark. Like they have no sun.
Yeah.
And then they go into dark places. I just couldn't anyway. But Amazon, this is the catch with Amazon, right? You pay for Amazon. We all pay for Amazon.
Yeah, I get that.
So why not watch stuff I'm already paying for the service?
Yes, but I'm at the point in my life, and I think a lot of people here, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
We pay for the service, so why not watch it?
Oh.
There's so much content out there, though, now. I can't watch it all. I've not even seen the best picture of this year. I can't watch it all. There's too much. So I have to pick and choose, right? Like I can't just, I can't just watch everything. I don't have the time for it. Yeah. Do you not feel that way to some extent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be making elective choices about what you're going to watch. Like I look at Rotten Tomatoes, I read Reddit, I read reviews, I see what other people are enjoying or watching, and then I make my decisions based on that. But I let things go all the time. Like The Boys is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I've not watched The Boys yet. I've had people recommend it to me, but it's not because I like have something against Amazon. It's just because I've had this stack of things to watch.
Yeah.
Trying to get through it.
Also, they don't have anything that's extremely. Like The Boys is probably their top tier, right?
Yeah.
They don't have anything that's super captivating.
Sure.
Right? Like I said, the Tom Clancy stuff is cool. Jack Reacher, it's good for like stay-at-home moms who want to see like a guy take his shirt off and shit. Or men. Stay-at-home dads who want to, it's 2022.
We don't discriminate.
Yeah. There's nothing there that's the selling point.
Sure.
Other than I already pay to get my packages a day early.
Oh, of course. And Amazon thinks though that this is their play for that show. I mean, like I said, they're spending an insane amount of money on it. I think like the most of any series has ever been spent on. Like above HBO.
So fill me in real quick. This Lord of the Rings show what is the concept?
That's a good question. I'm not a Lord of the Rings expert. So
I feel like you're more.
I don't know where this stands. Like in contrast to the Peter Jackson series, I don't know where this aligns with that. I would imagine they want to start as early as possible. I would think Amazon's probably investing they're investing a ton of money into this, and I think they want it to have legs. I don't think that they want it to be a one and done.
Right.
So I'm sure that it starts off pretty early. Just based on the title, I would think maybe
It's a prequel
I think maybe it could start with the creation of the rings.
see, that would be a dope concept.
I'm speculating on all this, and it's probably out there. You can probably look.
Yeah, we're lazy
the
as shit. We
synopsis
just
has
didn't-
probably
yeah.
been revealed. But just based on the title, I'm guessing maybe it has something to do with the creation of the rings. Or maybe it's some kind of prequel in that sense. But I can't imagine that they don't get into the Lord of the Rings trilogy kind of storyline at some point, if not in this season, in an upcoming season.
Right.
I would think that they would get back to that because, I don't know. It's a story that people like to see time and time again. I watch Lord of the Rings all the time. I rewatch it all the time.
If it's on TV, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a great story. So, I mean, I'm all here for another iteration of it. When I saw the teaser, I was like, these people are all way too sexy and clean. This isn't Middle Earth.
they were kind of dirty
Not in the trailer, dude.
in the movies. Like,
Oh,
Frodo and them, like, they were
yeah.
dirty.
That was a very, like, it felt like a gritty, real, like, it was,
Schmeagol?
yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, that interpretation felt very authentic and genuine to me. Like, it felt real.
A sexy
And
guy
then
with
when
a sword.
when I watched the teaser, I was like, for the new one, I was like, I don't
They're
know.
too clean
This
to be
seems, this is like
elves.
Love Island and like meets Lord of the Rings. Like, even
Are
like
they-
even like the intros of all the characters, it's like all slow mo, and they're like walking, like, like what are we doing?
Are they
introducing
elves?
the cast? What is this?
All right.
No,
I gotta.
It's not how it works, man.
I gotta do a little more research on this because this could be their start
Oh, it's definitely their start.
where they kind of hit. And we talked about
In their mind, it's their start.
yeah. I feel like it's their start.
Who knows?
I mean,
we'll find out.
there's only been 3 shows that I've watched on Amazon in its entirety. Jack Ryan, which is still kind of, it's good enough to watch. Invincible, because I love that book, and I got a thing for animated stuff that's more adult themed, not like sexy stuff, like
It's all
blood
good.
and gore. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool.
I mean, I
Sex-
could like sexy stuff. I'm an adult. Like, I can like sexy
Yeah,
stuff.
sex and the violence, man.
Yeah. And the last one, the boys. So they don't have too many bangers. I love saying that. They don't have too many bangers. Jared Leto, he ain't got no bangers.
I predict that it flops. I don't wish
the
ill
Lord
on
of the
them.
Rings. You think it's gonna flop?
Yeah, I don't wish ill on them, but I have a feeling that it's going to be, and I think it's
The selling point isn't high enough for me to. Also, we've been removed from the Lord of the Rings for.
I don't think that as far as I'm aware, and I'll have to dive into the like who they've attached to it from like a showrunner perspective and like
Who's in it?
directors, and
Is it anybody we know?
I don't think so. I say that with a lot of confidence, though, and I have none. Truthfully, it's all a front. But I don't think like there has not been anybody attached to it that I was like, oh, that strikes confidence in me. This will be good.
Any directors that we know?
I don't know if that stuff's been announced. So I'm not sure. I probably, if I was a betting man, I'd probably put my chips on the new Game of Thrones series. Regardless of how you felt about the ending of the original series, I trust HBO more with that.
I'll always trust
with that
HBO.
type of content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably put it on them. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not saying that I won't, but I don't know. All right, let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about, did you see the Bruce Willis thing? The Bruce Willis announcement?
Man, that really.
We're not going to end on a low note, but
Yeah, man.
that was a huge, huge bummer.
Like I said it a couple weeks ago with Scott Hall, and I also feel like we are at the point, and I forget that these people, as we age, they age, and they deal with real life shit too.
Sure.
So it just, and I had no idea he was 67. I thought he was in maybe his 50s.
Oh, no, dude.
Or early
definitely
60s. He's on the later end of his 60s.
Yeah, he's been around, man.
Yeah.
He's been
so
around.
And Bruce Willis, to me,
he looks great. He's always looked pretty
great.
good.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
We don't know how serious
he's
it is.
had that image for such a long time.
And
that's another like misleading thing, right? Because
Yeah.
like he kind of looks the same in Die Hard as he does in The Sixth Sense, and then he kind of has that consistent aesthetic.
Yeah.
So it's hard to always tell.
And like it's just tough, man. I don't like and Bruce Willis is anything Bruce Willis puts out, I'll watch.
Yeah.
And he never stopped working. Like he's had straight to streaming stuff still.
Yeah, and the theory was that a lot of that was because
he knew he was sick.
he knew that he wanted to do something, but he couldn't commit to the larger roles because he just didn't have.
He wasn't sure.
It wasn't all there.
He's got those battery commercials that are good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I can't remember what brand it is, but they're like Die Hard battery.
Yeah. That I think is probably accurate.
Yeah. But he's been if you don't know what we're talking about, he's been diagnosed with excuse me because this is a brand new word to me. I've never heard of this disease. Aphasia.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like dementia.
Yeah, you basically lose your ability to speak
you
and
become a
understand
vegetable.
language to some extent. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
I'm not a doctor, but
it's just
it must be impacting him at this stage, though.
For them to announce it that he can't work anymore, or he's just like, all right, I'm old enough. I hope it's okay. I'm old enough, and I have this thing that I need to monitor. Mm-hmm. So let me just do this so I can live a good life.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something.
I hope that's the case.
Maybe there's like a maintenance thing that he can do that like helps like prolong his
Yeah, don't.
And if he like steps away from doing movies, maybe he has the time to focus on that.
Yeah,
and dial in.
I can imagine he has to like take all these medications.
Yeah, it's a huge bummer. So here's to Bruce.
Here's to Bruce. Prayers up, man. Take care of yourself. But yeah, man, it sucks as we get older. We see our heroes and childhood figures get older too, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. So
Yeah. That is a bummer.
Best of wishes, Bruce.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to something not so depressing and sad. Although this could fall into that category, but I think it's going to be more comical, maybe. I'm not sure. Did you see that the Flash got arrested?
Yes.
And did you see the context in which he was arrested?
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with him, bro? He's
Did you
crazy.
see his mugshots?
Yo, he's crazy.
It's absurd.
And DC won't cancel the movie. They're like, this is our moneymaker.
Let me say a couple of things real quick before we totally dive into
he's
this.
a nut.
They've been talking about the Flash movie, and I'm disconnected, so disregard me.
5 years.
They've been talking about the Flash movie for about as long as I've been alive.
2014, man.
Why is it not out already?
It
can't be that It can't be that hard. It won't be that good. The guy has been around forever as the Flash. It's hard to even consider him the Flash anymore. I mean, how long? Like,
he's what's the opposite of the Flash?
Oh my gosh! Put it out already. How are we calling him the Flash? The movie's never even come out.
He was in one bullshit Justice League by Joss Whedon, and then Zack Snyder redid it and gave him some substance. And he, it's just like he's around, but it's like, well, where is the movie?
Put the movie out already. Anyway, back to him getting arrested. Did you read about the context of his arrest? He was like in a hostel, and then he like broke into the owner's suite and threatened them.
Drugs.
What is happening?
Drugs.
First of all, why is he staying in a hostel? And this was in Hawaii.
Drugs, bro. What?
He does look terrible in his mugshot. He looks rough. Also, where'd the long hair come from? Has he always had that?
The last mugshot. No, the last time I seen him, he was bugging out, and he like choked a lady or smacked a lady or some shit.
So he's got a history of not.
He's got a history of not being.
Does he live in Hawaii? He's just staying there? I guess he's in a hostel, so he must just be staying there.
I don't know anybody.
But what is he doing in a hostel?
Drugs.
I need more information.
I don't want more information.
I would love more information.
We
should dedicate an episode to it, probably.
To more information on Ezra Miller.
Yeah, and the Flash movie. Where is it? Does it exist?
We should
Talking of conspiracy theories, is it really a movie? We should try to find somebody who worked on it.
You know who I trust? You know who I trust?
No, I don't.
And I've got lack of trust as of recently, but I trust Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton is in this Flash movie.
Supposedly. As
1989 Batman. So, and Ben Affleck. And my wife trusts
Batfleck.
So, my household trusts Batman.
These characters, okay.
So, if they're in the movie, it has to be real. I just don't understand. Okay, here's the problem. The people who run the DC film division over at Warner Brothers
are drunk.
Yes, for lack of a better word. They
All
are
the time.
idiots, bro. They have no clue about what direction they're going, what they're doing.
Nothing.
Is it a child that runs this studio? Like, you can do whatever you want. You can
Have they identified a person that runs it?
No. Oh, so apparently there is not one person that runs it, like Kevin Feige over it.
Yeah.
There's a board. And I have been privy to this information that this board changes.
God, who's on that board?
Every 4 years. And that's
Sounds
why
terrible.
there's no continuity.
Sounds terrible.
And no accountability on what's happening over there.
My God.
And I just kind of feel like, don't you want this to work?
It's a great question. I don't
Wouldn't
know.
you want it to work?
Yes, I would.
I want it to work.
I would want it to work.
With anything that you consume and you feel like is a good IP, and as my most hated quote as a comic book fan, when they bring these things to life, don't you want it to be of great quality?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
These people are idiots. Which is why Ezra Miller is still the Flash.
I mean, they can't get rid of him now.
I want that job.
He's in the news as the Flash.
Every
articles are the Flash was arrested. He's forever the Flash. It's actually probably this time in life, this point in time, probably more people know about the Flash because he was arrested than knew previously.
Nobody even knew the movie was coming out. And
Exactly.
They're like, the Flash.
This is a no press is bad press situation. They want him to get arrested because it's free publicity. People did not know he was the Flash or that the Flash even existed. More of them know now.
It's sadism at this point. They like it.
Exactly. Yes.
They like
They sent him there
to do this.
Yeah. The worse stuff he can do, the more he can be in the news, the better for them.
I hope he's mentally well. I don't ever want to see anyone just kind of in these.
No, he's struggling.
These spaces.
He's struggling.
You know, with arrests and just, because that shit can always go left. But I hold the people who cut him a check responsible. Warner Brothers, HBO, whoever is over there.
It's not HBO.
Listen, guys, figure it out. You got this man running around, holding people hostage, punching women.
Yeah.
This dude's crazy.
Yeah. He punched somebody in karaoke.
Don't punch Jada Smith.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Yo.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Too much, yo. Too much, man.
All right. Well, we're at an hour. So is there anything else that you want to touch on? Do you want to wrap up?
We can go out on what are you watching? What you watch this week?
Oh God. We could do that, couldn't we? I watched Death on the Nile. I've continued watching other things, other shows and whatnot, but I think the movie that I rewatched Dune, incredible, love every second of it. But I watched Death on the Nile, which has Armie Hammer in it. Remember that whole situation?
Doesn't he eat people?
Yeah. So they delayed the release. That movie was finished a long time ago. Then they delayed the release of it because all of his text messages came out where he was trying to eat that person.
Did he eat the person? Though?
No. And then he was like, it's just fantasy. And then like a bunch of people came out and they defended him because they were like, oh, fantasies are cool. Don't shame him. But then at the same time, it's like, dude, don't try to eat people.
Was it sexual or like I'm gonna?
Oh no, it was sexual and he was eating people. It was a sex with the violence kind of thing. That's what he was into. He wanted to like devour this person. Did not look great.
But so, everything I've seen Armie Hammer in was good.
The movie. They delayed it.
And it finally came out.
And then they kind of just like dropped it, I think, on like a streaming service. Or they just
under the radar.
Yeah, maybe under the radar. It might have been in theaters. I can't really recall. Anyway, it's got a lot of famous people in it. It was okay.
He hasn't resurfaced since.
I think it's probably pretty hard for him to resurface at this point in time.
Nobody's going to trust you.
The culture nowadays,
you can't attempt to eat someone.
You can't try to eat people now.
You cannot.
That was 20 years ago. You could have gotten away with that, but nowadays, you got to be by the book.
You got to go to Trader Joe's.
You got to be by the woke book if you want to survive.
The woke book.
You cannot try to eat people, dude.
No, you cannot.
No, not at all. Not at all. Nope. But yeah, so I watched that, but it was okay. It was pretty good. The CGI in it is terrible.
What is it about?
Okay. So I'll do one more glass. All right, we're running over. Sorry, people. So the concept of Murder on the Nile, or Death on the Nile, is that basically this very wealthy woman falls in love with Armie Hammer's character. All right. And
what's he do?
So he's kind of just like a nomad is what it seems like. I mean, he's not like poor and broke, but he doesn't like have tons of money or
sexy guy in a dirty shirt.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Now, him and her kind of fall in love and they get married and they run off on this boat. It's a very luxurious boat.
Murder mystery type?
It's a murder mystery, essentially, yes.
Right,
there's murder on the boat, murder mystery. You're ahead of me. It's worth watching just for the scenes on the boat.
Okay.
It makes you want to go on one of these
Is this
boats.
like a Mississippi River boat with like the things?
Yes. It's very old school like that.
Those things, what are those things called? The paddles in the back?
Yeah.
How do those even run?
I don't know, man.
Those
Magic.
boats.
But for those scenes in particular, it's worth watching. Yeah. So for those scenes alone, it's worth watching. It's very cool. It makes you want to go on one of these old boats. It's like, it's like a gambling casino boat style, like on the Mississippi kind of vibe, but it's on the Nile.
Those boats seem incredibly racist to me.
And could be. Don't know. Never been on one. Can't say. But you might not be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, very attractive from that perspective. Like it just looks like a blast.
Yeah. You could get it for a birthday.
Looks like a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, murder mystery vibe.
You could pull that off. You could pull off a birthday on
maybe,
that boat.
dude. You never know.
I'd come because of you. I trust you.
Oh, thanks.
I don't trust anyone else. That
a lot of people start dying on this boat. So
see, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I think they tried to really like make it like an old school kind of movie. I feel it fails on a lot of levels for me in that case. I really thought the production quality, like how they filmed it and like it just the lighting and the cinematography all seemed really half-assed. And the CGI was subpar. The boat shots, they sunk their budget into that for sure. And then everything else kind of is lame. But it's on a streaming service. I'm trying to think of what
Paramount,
was.
Amazon, HBO, Netflix.
It's not Netflix.
FX.
It might be Hulu.
Hulu.
I think it's Hulu.
I think it is Hulu.
I think it's Hulu because I think I was trying to watch The Dropout and it came up on there. Acting is okay. It's got a lot of like relatively known, like well-known people in it. So the acting is fine. but it's not. It's a Saturday afternoon, rainy outside, lazy day, kind of want to kill 2 hours. It's enjoyable, but it's not gonna like. You're not gonna be like, damn.
Okay. All right, yeah. All right.
It's not winning awards. So yeah, that's what I watched this week, movie wise. I think.
I didn't watch any movies this week. I'm in my show bag. Atlanta came back. Donald Glover.
I hear great things about that show.
It's gotten really weird and socially conscious in a really deep Easter egg type of way. Like it's still funny, but like just weird. Donald Glover's weird.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it strikes me as kind of strange.
And you know, as my wife and I were watching it, we were like, "Yo, we just want to laugh. Like, I don't want to. Like, this is getting a little dark." So, like, we're still watching that because we got to see it through. We followed it all the way. Snowfall. You watch Snowfall?
Nope.
I'm big on gangster. Also, timepieces like in the 70s.
Yeah.
So Snowfall is like about it. It is a kind of a. It's created by it'll come back to me. But it is based off of the true story of Freeway Rick Ross, who was one of the biggest drug dealers in L.A.
Okay.
in the late 70s, and Damson Idris plays an adaptation type creation of this character.
Got you.
And it's kind of crash oriented where it tells 3 stories. There's the CIA agent who is funding the Iran-Contra war with selling cocaine. There's the cocaine dealer, and then there's the Mexican cartel component.
Okay.
And then all 3 of these stories eventually intersect, and they all need each other.
Got you.
I would actually recommend it for you, man. It's pretty dope. It's on FX.
Let's check it out.
Still on the Severance train.
Not caught on that yet.
I think that's pretty much my bag right now. I'm still on the shows.
Okay.
No movies have really come across my plate besides No Way Home that hit digital. I went ahead and bought it because I'm a sucker, knowing it will eventually be on Disney Plus. So I'm so stupid, but whatever.
It's all good, dude.
Just gotta see it, man.
No, yeah, no, I get it. That is due for a rewatch. So, well, that probably brings us to a close. I feel like we've been doing this. This is like an hour 15, so we've been here.
Nobody's listening at this point, but whatever.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Get well, Bruce.